Factoring trinomials. To begin with, we're going to explore factoring trinomials that have a leading coefficient of 1. In other words, there is a 1 that's understood to be in front of the first squared term. These are actually fairly easy because if you write them in descending order, x squared plus 11x plus 24, all we need to do is take the number 24 and look for a pair of factors that add up to 11. So we can do 1 and 24, or a negative 1 and a negative 24. 2 and 12, negative 2, negative 12. 3 and 8, negative 3, negative 8. 4 and 6, negative 4, negative 6. At this point, we know we can stop looking at our factors because the next number counting up would be a 5, which is not a factor, and then a 6, which we've already got here. Now all we need to do is add 25, negative 25. Those aren't the ones we're looking for. 12 and 2 is a 14, or a negative 14. Those aren't the ones we're looking for. 11, that's what we have. That's what we need. So this trinomial actually could have come about from multiplying or distributing the two binomials, x plus 3 and x plus 8. Let's look at another one. In this case, we have a y. There's still a 1 in front. I'm looking for a negative 11, and I have a 28. Let's look for the pairs of factors. I can do 1 and 28, negative 1 and negative 28, 2 and 14, negative 2 and negative 14. 3 won't go into 28 evenly. 4 and 7, negative 4 and negative 7. Remember, each of these pairs will multiply to give me a positive 28. So 29, negative 29. 16, negative 16. 11, negative 11. I have a negative 11. That's what I was looking for. So this trinomial can come about from y minus 4 and y minus 7 being multiplied together. Now this is not written in the correct order. We need to rewrite this as x squared plus 2x minus 48. When it's written in descending order, again, we can see we have a 1 in front of the x squared. So we just need to look for the factors of a negative 48. Since it's a negative number, we're going to have one positive and not one negative. So I could have a positive 1 and a negative 48, or a negative 1 and a positive 48. 2 and 24, 2 and negative 24, excuse me, or negative 2 and a 24. 3 and negative 16, a negative 3 and a positive 16. 4 and a negative 12, a negative 4 and a positive 12. 5 won't go into it evenly. The 6 go into 48 evenly. Well, 6 times 8 is 48, so it will. So I can do a 6 and a negative 8, or a negative 6 and a positive 8. The only other option I would have would be a 7, because now I've got 8s coming back up. Adding gives me a negative 47, positive 47. Negative 22, positive 22. Negative 13, positive 13. Negative 8, positive 8. Negative 2, positive 2. I have a positive 2 right here. So this could have come from x minus 6, x plus 8. Now here, I still have a 1 in front of my r squared, but I also have an s. What this tells me is that any factor that I could have would be in the form rs, rs. I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still looking at a negative 9 and trying to add the factors to get a negative 8. So the factors of a negative 9, I could have a positive 1 and a negative 9. In fact, that is the one I'm looking for. So I know that I have r plus 1s, r minus 8s for my factors. The same thing here. I'm going to look for the factors of a negative 12 and try to find a pair that add to a negative 9. So with a negative 12, I could do a negative 1 and a positive 12, or a positive 1 and a negative 12, negative 2 and a positive 6, or positive 2 and a negative 6, or a negative 3 and a positive 4, or a negative or positive 3 and a negative 4. If I add these, I get 11, negative 11, 4, negative 4, 1, negative 1. None of these, in fact, will add to give me a negative 9. So we have no, we're going to say not factorable. For our purposes, this cannot be factored. Now, if we have something like this, the first thing we need to do is look to see, do we have a common factor? 4, 16, and 20 all have a common factor of 4. X cubed, x squared, and x all have a common factor of x. So if I take a 4x out of all of this, I'm left with an x squared plus 4x minus 5. This is what we were just doing a moment ago. So I can look at my factors for negative 5 and look for a pair that add up to 4. If I do a 1 and a negative 5, that will give me a negative 4. If I do a negative 1 and a positive 5, that gives me a 4. So this piece could have come from x minus 1, x plus 5. The whole thing is 4x, x minus 1, x plus 5.